There was a pool at the house, and I dove into what I thought was the deep end. The second that I dove in, my chin hit the bottom of the pool. My head snapped back with such force that I shattered my C4 vertebrae, and I was completely paralyzed in the blink of an eye. My name is Francesco Clark, and I'm the president of Clark's Botanicals. The first thing that popped into my mind was, you are an idiot. Instead of thinking you're underwater in a pool, looking at the bubbles float up from your mouth, I was more thinking, do you realize how much therapy you're gonna have to do when you get better?
6 o'clock in the morning, my cell phone rang. And when I answered, it was a doctor from Stony Brook. He said, your son had a very serious accident and we want you to talk to him before we do surgery.
This feels like working out before my injury. The doctor said that I had a 19% chance of surviving not only that night, but the rest of my life. Before I even woke up from surgery, they were in Long Island, and my mom said in Italian, sposta qualcosa, which means move something. And I twitched my shoulder. And so she turned to Dr. Stevens, a surgeon, and she said, well, you don't know my son.
Sure, I told him. He didn't know my son, and he didn't know the courage and the strength that was going to be behind all this event. And it was true.
For me, it didn't mean that he doesn't know me. It means more, you don't know my family.
I was very pleased to see he was Paul just getting his character back. He wasn't going to be overwhelmed by the accident.
It felt like, to me, how can I redefine who I am? How can I make myself just as strong as I felt like I was before, but in a different kind of way? The secondary effect of my injury was that my skin stopped sweating, and as soon as my skin stopped sweating, it couldn't rebalance itself. I had tried prescription medications, over-the-counter medications, $3 creams, $500 creams, nothing worked. I was tired. I reached my lowest point. I met Christopher Reeve at an event here in Westchester, and he was an encyclopedia. He just knew everything about every scientist and every research project that was going on in the US and the world. The day that Christopher Reeve passed away, I realized that I wanted to do more. Clark's Botanicals started more as something that would bring your inner strength forward. And in order to get to that, I turned to my dad, and we went through 78 different versions, which took 5 years.
You know, my dad clearly helped him formulate it. In the business, I think everybody in the family has been involved.
We looked at jasmine extracts, and lavender, and rose, and chamomile, and every other botanical extract that we could find.
You know, because really the company is Francesco. I mean, you can call it Clark's Botanicals, but you could also just call it Francesco.
Let me try it. We are a family-run business. We're completely independent. But we are one of the top sellers on QVC. We've grown 64% at Space & K in the UK. We just launched in Russia, and we're now launching in Canada in 2 months. And we just signed a deal with American Airlines to make their amenity kit program in the United States. For me, it was about getting to a point where I felt so frustrated that I broke free, and I felt like my shackles just were on the floor behind me. Yeah! I don't know what the future will bring, and all I can do is contribute to what's going to happen from now on.